Reporter Dave Johnson joins us live from the scene with a story.
Irma, a Mission woman who is beaten and bloodied, somehow stumbles up to a convenience store and grabs hold of a payphone and calls for the Mission PD. This began a rather bizarre string of events today here in Mission, a place that has 3 different crime scenes, rather not particular crime scenes, but 3 different locations. We're about to take you to each location step by step.
Bloodstains on the inside of the car do not begin to tell the whole story behind a beating that took place right in the middle of the afternoon. Mission police say 2 cars sandwiched this late model Dodge in a residential neighborhood in Mission in the 800 block of Francisco Street. The object, police say, a carjack.
One of the individuals in the station wagon exited the vehicle, came over to the driver's side, for unknown reason slapped the lady, then went over to the passenger side attempting to get into the vehicle. At that point, the victim got off the vehicle to get the license plates of the station wagon. The suspect came around the vehicle and struck her in the back of her head with a pipe.
Now suffering from a deep gash in the back of her neck, the victim somehow has the fortitude to get in her own car, put it in drive, and go down Conway Street here towards the nearest payphone. She's wandering about the street somewhat aimlessly. Keep in mind now she's bleeding the entire time. And she pulls off of Conway here in her Dodge and pulls into the nearest convenience store where she gets out of the car and comes up here still bleeding the entire time and picks up a payphone and calls for help. Luis Flores was on duty inside the store.
Yeah, I was busy. All I knew was the lady was on the phone and she had a cut in her head and she was calling the cops, and then suddenly the cops came. That's it.
Police say the suspects, meanwhile, have hid inside this home underneath a water pit. Arrested is 17-year-old Roberto Velasco Jr. and 19-year-old Omar Balderas. Velasco is booked. Balderas is later released. He says things didn't happen the way police claim. How is it that she got smashed in the head with a pipe?
It was a, what do you mean? Un palo, like stick. It was a regular stick, but the girl slapped my friend first. She was the one who got off the car and everything. It was her mistake to get off the car. She should have just left. She was the one who came and hit my friend, so that's when everything happened.
So she slapped your friend, and your friend in turn took a bash to her head?
Yeah.
The victim is described as a 50-year-old Hispanic female. Her name is being withheld for security reasons. She was taken to Mission Hospital for treatment of a large gash to her head. Suspect Balderas says there was no intent to steal anything. But you weren't trying to steal her car, is that what you're telling me?
We were not trying to steal nobody's car, so anything, nothing like that.
Now, there are several suspects in this case. At least 2 of them are juveniles. Now, you may be asking yourself out there, if Mr. Balderas is a carjacking suspect, what in the world is he doing talking to Channel 4 outside of his own home? Well, Investigator Longoria has a very simple answer to that. He was released on his own recognizance, but he tells me, the police tell me rather, that Mr. Balderas will be charged tomorrow with the crime of carjacking. Back to you, Irma.
Good job, Dave. Thanks for that story. And that's where we join Dave Johnson once again.
That's right, Irma. Things have cooled off here a bit. It's a pretty nice breeze out here on Channel 4 tonight. Now, most people pay to come see the ball players who are out here, but without the support staff, it just wouldn't be fun at the old ballpark.
So a runner at first, run away.
What's the hardest part about taking tickets?
Being nice to people. Like, we get a lot of complaints and stuff, and it's hard dealing with the people.
And you make them feel better.
Yeah.
You go, Janie.
There's a lot of baseballs that have a different feel to them, and the bigger the seams, the easier it is to throw a breaking ball.
Why do people need a program?
They get a scorecard and they sign up for contests.
You like your job?
It's okay.
How can we make it better for you?
More money.
Okay, you got it, buddy. Starting today, you got more money.
Here's the payoff delivery. It's a fastball up the zone.
Miss D.C.?
Columbia.
That's not a real state, you know that, don't you?
But it's the nation's capital, so
Well, so who cares?
because it should be represented. Hello.
You ever been to a ball game?
No, not really. This is my first one.
Your name, Emma Smith? Are you having fun?
Yes. I went to the Astros.
So that new baseball that Whitaker wanted has already been taken out of play.
You're the sound guy.
Yeah, that's me. See this guy coming up? Happening number 30, Junior Brady. You just click, and it works. I don't know. What do you want to play? I don't care.
It's up to you, man. Whatever you want to be on TV scene playing.
I don't know.
Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Beer's pretty popular right about here?
Pretty much.
How many beers you sell on a good day?
Customers.
How many beers you sell on a good day?
I would say about 120 beers a night, maybe.
Why players like my man All-Star Jay Davis grab the headlines with his powerful bat and everything, it's the support personnel that's really important. Tell me what's important about the bat boys and the ball girls and all that kind of stuff.
Well, they're important because they give you the tools you need to do your job. We're cutting up some fajitas right now.
Good looking fajitas?
Yes, sir. Like try some?
Be careful with that knife.
Oh, yeah. I help out Greg with cutting fajitas.
And go.
I used to carpool with that guy.
Quickly, Daddy, quickly. Quickly, quickly, quickly. 6 seconds. You get good tips out of this?
Yeah.
We're getting ready to find out how good a tip you get and how good your service is. So you smile and be extra nice. Pretty good fare for you there?
$2.
That ain't bad. $2, keep multiplied by 100.
It's a lot.
Isn't that stuff awfully fattening?
Oh, it's good. Really?
Yeah, but it's good.
Real good.
Now, you could ask Miguel about all of that stuff. He's the one that ate it. Now, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the fine bat boys that are working here in the dugouts. We didn't get a chance to check with them earlier. They were very busy. We'll have more on how the Wings are doing on the field with Miguel later on in sports. I'm Dave Johnson reporting live from Harlingen Field.
How dare him blame it all on Miguel. This area has one of the largest populations of Catholics in the entire Lone Star State. In tonight's team report, we take a close look at some of the fundamental changes going on between parishes. And we'll tell you how all those changes are affecting the future of one young couple. But first, Nightside reporter Dave Johnson takes us into the inner workings of the religion.
In its purest sense, the Catholic Church stands for God and everything that is holy. But dig just below the surface of this complex organization, and you'll find that this is anything but a democracy. This coming from somebody who should know. You can take the collar off the priest, but religion is never very far away from his heart. Reminders of the past adorn the walls of Michael Anderson, a former Valley priest turned psychologist. And if anybody knows the inner workings of the Valley Diocese, it is this man.
Scandal in the church is nothing new. It's been there through the ages.
And during the past few weeks, scandal has rocked the Texas Diocese, especially here in deep South Texas, where a pedophile scandal has forced lots of people to ask lots of questions.
I think it's become a place for some kinds of persons to hide out and not face their problems. Basically, the church needs to take care of and look at and really do a good job of taking care of the very people that do help minister in the church.
Issues like that of the Reverend Jesus Garcia, a Corpus Christi priest accused of sodomizing a 15-year-old altar boy. After the charges were made public, Garcia fled to Spain. Last week, criminal charges were dropped against Garcia, but a civil lawsuit claims the Corpus Christi Diocese and its former bishop conspired to cover up the priest's alleged abuse and of attempting to coerce the plaintiffs into keeping quiet.
I don't know what happened in that case, but if the guy was innocent, he should have stayed and faced it instead of going over and, that just made things worse, I believe.
And it's the church's reluctance to face such matters, Anderson says, that has led to mistrust. Whether the matter is of a sexual nature or a procedural matter, such as recent oblate reassignments here in the Valley, Anderson says the church needs to be more open.
These changes could be if you educate people and let them know they're going to happen and not just pull them on them real fast.
I am the father of this church. It's true that some of the parishioners may not agree with everything that we do, but they're still our parishioners. I'm still their father.
Bishop Raimundo Peña has led the Brownsville Diocese for 2 years. Insiders say he's putting his people in place, suiting his particular management style. And Michael Anderson would like to see that growth go forward in a positive manner. We asked if he were bishop for a day, what changes would he make?
I'd do everything possible to make sure they had the support and help they needed to do their jobs. And if they were having problems, like with alcoholism or drugs or loneliness or any other kind of things, I'd make sure they got the help to face those kind of problems.
And there are people here in the valley, Irma, who need that kind of help. Anderson says he personally knows of several priests here in the valley who either have alcohol or sexually related problems. When we pushed the button a bit further and asked him how many, he told us his best estimate, 5%.
Interesting, Dave. Thanks for that report.
Authorities have no idea who he is. Reporter Dave Johnson reports from San Benito.
The railroad tracks sit a stone's throw away from this quiet valley neighborhood, a place that's becoming more and more dangerous.
A lot of kids just walk home along the tracks and stuff. This one guy was running, he walking around that side and came running back across, tripped over the train tracks, and he reached in back on the tracks for a $5 hat. Nearly got his arm run over.
America, and the world for that instance, has long had a love affair with the train. Its sleek beauty running down the tracks like that has attracted people to watch its inner beauty. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, the train has also proved to be rather deadly. The latest example came early Friday morning. Neighbors called police saying they heard screams coming from the track. Now, it happened right here where this gold paint is, correct?
Yeah, somewhere around here. We see some blood stains here, and there's, I don't know, looks like maybe a kneecap or something. It might have been.
And it probably belongs to this young man, found lying between the tracks. He remains unconscious, and authorities have no idea who he is. Is the theory now that he was probably hitching on the train to go somewhere?
More than likely. We don't recognize him, and so far we don't have anybody that recognizes him.
The young man is described as an Hispanic male between 10 and 12 years old, 5 feet tall, weighing between 90 and 100 pounds. He was found wearing baggy blue jean shorts and tennis shoes. You've been an officer for a number of years. What have you seen about trains and how people should respect train safety?
Well, the train's a big machine, and it's really heavy. It's not going to stop, you know, in time. If it hits you, it hits you, and that's it. It's going to destroy your car or whatever. It's something that you need to respect. You know, don't try to beat it because you're not going to win.
Dave Johnson, News 4.
This next story might
Okay, Valley, it's that time again. Time for the News 4 Eye-Openers. We join Dave Johnson live at Harlingen Field.
That's right, it is Channel 4 night at Harlingen Field. More on that in just a minute, but first the eye-openers. We're going to show you a horrific scene of destruction today in Miami, and one of the best ways to spend $5 million. That and more in the News 4 Eye-Openers. This hellish scare from Miami is actually a burning tanker truck carrying flammable liquids. The driver apparently lost control, flipped the truck over, and skidded onto its right side until it burst into flames. No word on whether the driver reached safety. The last remnants of this cotton mill in Tennessee literally went up in smoke today. The mill's 87-year-old smokestack was all that was left of what used to be one of the biggest businesses in the area. The 20-acre site will now be put up for sale. If you've got an extra $5 million or so to spend, here's the way to do it in big-time style. This $5 million yacht has 3 luxury cabins, each with its own toilet and shower, and a fully equipped kitchen. Its owner never got to see it. She died before it was finished being built. And we're joined by Stephanie, who's one of the cheerleaders for the White Wings. Join us next week for the most incredible video of the day.
In the News 4 Eye-Openers.
Back to you, Irma.
Thanks, Dave, and thanks, Stephanie.
You've been a partner with CBS in putting on these pageants for a while. Has it been everything you thought it would be?
Well, this has even been more. I mean, Miss Universe, we understand, is a monster pageant, and Miss USA has been tremendous and got great ratings. But tonight, we really had a tremendous pageant, and South Padre, they did a fantastic job. The mayor and everybody did a fantastic job.
As you look around here, do you see any possibilities of coming back to South Padre for this again?
Well, I know the mayor's been talking to us already, and the whole group that's been so incredible for South Padre and getting it. And as you know, is in 48 countries and the entire United States. So we're talking about a big thing. And I tell you, I hear the response has been so incredible that we would certainly consider it.
Well, we really need you to come down here to develop a place for us that we could come out and have a good time in.
Well, maybe that'll be next. This is probably more important what happened tonight.
Okay. Thank you for your time, Mr. Trump.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Last year, this time, you were in high school. Now, you know, you've gone through, you're a playoff season veteran, and you know, you're one of the rising stars of the NBA. How do you deal with all that?
you just keep setting goals and keep moving on. Understand that there's bigger things and better things in life besides basketball.
Like what's bigger than basketball to you?
First of all, family is the most important. Love your family and everything else will fall in place.
I'm old enough to remember your father playing there for a while, and now his son's, this whole thing's come around full circle. Tell me what your family means to you.
My family means the world to me. Without them, I wouldn't be here right now. I love my mother and my father dearly. My two sisters as well, my grandparents, and without them, I couldn't be here today.
I'm looking at this Lakers starting lineup for next year. You guys probably are second only to the Bulls, in my opinion, of just an outstanding lineup. What are you going to be looking forward to now to get in past the second round of the playoffs?
Well, I think we're going to have to go into next year with a little bit more experience, and that's going to come. Last year we were a young team, and going against a team like Utah, who's been there before, it was kind of difficult. We couldn't rely on just our talent, but I think experience can take a team like us a long way.
Well, Coach Del Harris brought you along very slowly. I know a lot of people were sitting there waiting on national TV. Well, where's Kobe? All of a sudden, by the time the Utah series come around, you're the man taking the shot at the end of the game. I mean, that's got to be an incredible feeling for you.
Oh, definitely. I've always dreamed to be put in that type of situation, in that type of predicament. And unfortunately, last year I couldn't come through, but that's a dream come true for me. And I hope I'll be put in many more situations like that.
A lot of the old veterans of the NBA come around and they say the younger guys don't appreciate things. And I think they're maybe pointing out more of the Allen Iversons like that. But for every story like that, you've got a good story like yourself. Do you feel more like a role model, a mantle carrier for your generation?
Well, I think that once you reach a certain level, professional athletics, you become a role model, whether you like it or not. And I think we have to set the right example for the next generation that's growing up in this world today, in this society today. So I think you have to accept it. It's a huge responsibility, and you kind of have to carry the torch.
Who do you fear most on the court when you lace them up?
Can't fear nobody. Can't fear nobody. You have to go out there and play hard, and everything will fall in place.
Who's the man you respect? Who gives you the most problems out there?
Well, it's hard to say. In the NBA, everybody poses different problems. You have Jordan, who poses every problem. You have certain players who do certain things very well, specialties. So everybody poses a different challenge every night.
Let's suppose we can get a 3-on-3 game going here. Name me two guys you would pick to be in your team.
I would go with Magic, and I would go with Will. Can't lose that.
You're going way back there. You're making your own Laker guys there.
I'm going all the way back.
Okay, Kobe, I appreciate your time, and good luck down here.
Thank you very much.